Hi, I'm Daniel. Today we're talking about moving to Vietnam and why it's actually probably not possible for most of us. Full disclaimer, I don't have it all figured out. And no one does. You can sit and listen to people talk on YouTube all day about this, but in reality you have to go and experience it for yourself. And I encourage you, come to Vietnam. You won't be disappointed as I sip my free mango juice. But I just got out of the massage and I'm feeling really good, really grateful, and also really clear at the same time that I am not going to be able to move to Vietnam. So I'm a little sad about that because it's an amazing country with amazing food, amazing people, and people are kicking the tires on it right now. For good reason. Can I move to Vietnam? But as with anything that is beautiful and cheap, it has a backstory. And there's certain things that I just want to let you know about before you come here. Hopefully this helps you. It maybe helps you decide to not come here or to come here too. It gives you some more clarity. So to start off, it's just hard to move to any foreign country, am I right? I'm from the US, North Carolina originally, and I'm a very eclectic person, I would say. I'm an artist, poet, musician, and these types of people, they're more able to move abroad and handle the rigors of what it takes to move to a foreign country. Everything's different, you know, and it can be overwhelming. And so when you stack up different factors on top of that, that's what ultimately leads to you not being able to move somewhere, isn't it? You get overwhelmed. And for Vietnam, it really isn't any one thing that's a deal breaker. It's a multitude of things that combine together to overwhelm. And the first thing I want to talk about is the elephant in the room. It's the visa situation. It's the bureaucracy of Vietnam. It is a country full of paperwork and red tape. And that can be very disappointing for a lot of people because a lot of people just don't like that. Especially when you have to fill something out in Vietnamese. But you get a 90-day tourist visa for most people. Some people get visa free. But for most people, it's 90 days. And that's going to be your test drive. And then you will have to leave. So you know you have to leave after 3 months. And so I have an onward ticket. I'm going to Thailand next. That's the plan. And the thing is, once you've left, it's like, well, I might as well go check out Thailand. I might as well go check out the Philippines. I might as well go check out Cambodia, you know? There's so many other cool countries in this region that I think that's why a lot of people just end up moving on, is they realize that there's other fish in the sea. And there really is. There's amazing countries to move to in this world, my friends. Don't count them out. I haven't, but you also have to come and make a decision at a certain point. You know, you can only test drive so many countries in your life. You'll never end up living anywhere if you don't end up just settling for what you love. But the thing is, you have that visa, and the way a lot of people choose to stay long-term in Vietnam is they do visa runs. But they are a pain in the butt. I'm talking specifically from Da Lat, Vietnam, which I consider to be the best city in Vietnam. I've been to Ho Chi Minh, I've been to Da Nang, I've been to Hoi An, and now I'm here in Da Lat. And yes, there's other places. I haven't been to Hanoi, I haven't been to Sapa. There's other places to go and check out. But for me, the climate in Da Lat is absolutely perfect, and the clouds are beautiful. It's in the mountains. I mean, it's a French designed city. It's incredibly beautiful. I think it wins easily the battle of where to move in Vietnam. And which is funny because no one talks about it a lot. Everyone talks about Da Nang. So that's very interesting, isn't it? That you get to Vietnam and like I didn't even really know that much about Dalat at all. I wanted to come here, but there's not that much info really compared to Da Nang. So, and the bureaucracy, it goes farther than the visas, right? You can't get a bank account. You can't buy stuff on Shopee, which is the Vietnamese Amazon, without a Vietnamese bank card. And everyone either takes cash or QR codes for payment here, and you can't pay with QR code if you don't have a bank account either. So it's a little bit cumbersome, and you'll get charged, for using a foreign card in a lot of places. You're gonna get charged just because you're a foreigner in a lot of places. And that's just how it is, and you know that going in. So it's not a deal breaker, am I right? Like it's not that big of a deal, but it's something to keep in mind, right? I'm gonna have to do visa runs because the alternatives are you can become an English teacher, which I don't want to do. To get a TRC, temporary residence card, which even then is only valid for 1 year. And then in that 1 year, you can get a driver's license if you do that though. Because right now, there is no way for us Americans to drive legally in Vietnam. You can't get the 1968 IDP. They only give the 1949 IDP in America, and Vietnam only recognizes the 1968. So even though I have a great license, American license, it's not legal in Vietnam, and there is literally no way, unless I were to get a TRC card and move here super long term and get a Vietnamese license, which would be a pain in the butt, then there's no way to drive legally. So that's another factor. It's really hard. And it's still not a deal breaker because in the cities, it's so easy to get around. Grab is amazing. There's other apps that are like Grab. And I am bopping around. I was catching a motorbike ride today. It was a 6-minute ride, and it cost 45 cents USD. So, you can easily get by here. But it's a factor. I like to drive. I like to ride motorbikes, and I don't want to get in trouble, and I don't want to do anything illegal. And if you do get into an accident, you are in big trouble if you don't have license. So it's a risk. It's so risky to be here for me and drive. So that's another thing. Reason why you may not make it here in Vietnam. Another reason is just how hard the language is. There's no beating around the bush here. Most Vietnamese people do not speak English. And if they do speak English, it's just a few words. And they just don't care to learn English, as far as I know. There are exceptions. There's a few people out here that really want to learn English. But mostly, Vietnam is sort of like more of a closed society where it's very family-oriented. A Vietnamese girl is not going to really be interested in dating a foreigner. So that's just something to keep in mind. And none of this was still a deal breaker for me yet, because I'm enjoying learning some Vietnamese. But the thing is, it's going to take years to learn it. And in that meantime, it's going to be really hard to get by because you just don't know how to talk to the locals. And if you don't know how to talk to the locals, you're going to miss out on a lot. And anytime you want to move somewhere, it's really important to talk to the locals. They know everything. They know, and you're going to save so much money by doing that. So that was one thing I realized in me, is that I actually love the Vietnamese culture. I'm in love with the Vietnamese culture, but not necessarily the language. I thought that I would be more open, but after a couple months of being here and putting in the work to learn Vietnamese, I'm a little bit exhausted and overwhelmed. when you factor in everything else. So I love Vietnamese culture. It's amazing. It's so worth coming here. But I'm in love with learning English. I'm from the US and English is my first language. I know a little bit of Spanish, but English is such a difficult language that you can just continually advance in it indefinitely. I'm still learning new, intricate, complicated words in English all the time because I'm a writer and I want to get better at that. So I'm actually having to devote most of my time learning a language to English already. So that's one factor. That's definitely one factor. I'm more interested in actually learning English than I am Vietnamese, which is crazy to say. Sorry about all the hateful comments that I'm going to get. Please don't slam me too hard down there. Because the thing is, I love everywhere. I love every country, and I think everything is worth exploring. I'm an adventurous soul. So those are 3 things so far. It's hard to move to any foreign country, the visa situation, bureaucracy, and the language. But what about when you factor in the pollution? Vietnam has pollution issues. In rural areas, there is a lot of garbage. They do not pick up the garbage. The air is of poor quality in most of Vietnam. In Đà Lạt, it's better, and it's pretty good. It's acceptable for me, coming from America. In America, we have nice air, in most places. But here in Vietnam, it's a struggle. You know, I could not ever see myself living in Saigon, in Da Nang, Hoi An. It is not good enough. The air is not good enough. I notice I'm getting a little cough sometimes. It's just not, it's not gonna work. So it has to be Đà Lạt. But then there's problems with Đà Lạt, you know. One of them is that it rains a whole lot. There's a big rainy season. And it develops a lot of mold. Mold is all over Vietnam. In every place I've stayed so far, it's had mold. All the curtains, all the ceilings, I've seen black everywhere. And it's a documented, well-known problem, and it's because the humidity is so high and it rains so much. So for me, I'm sensitive to that, and that's actually where the table turns, and I cannot do it. I just simply cannot. That, with all those things that I've already mentioned, and adding to mold, because I value my health. I want to be healthy. Mold is not good for you, and it develops inside, and it can really cause a lot of problems inside your body once it gets in there. And the thing is, the medical system here is not very advanced to talk about these kind of more intricate problems like mold and fungus growth inside the body. That's more something that's common in the US, where people are starting to become aware of this and develop, tests for mycotoxins. And I actually got one, and I have really bad elevated levels, and I need to be detoxing. And so this is just something to think about. The medical care is good, but it's really basic and really simple. It's very cheap and very high quality, but it is not very in-depth. And you're gonna really have a hard time, even when you go to the English-speaking Western hospitals, you're still not gonna be able to get across what you need to say, depending on what it is you're trying to get treated. So, healthcare. Now, there's so much positive here too with healthcare too. Like, I got a dental cleaning for $9. In general, the culture is very healthy. It's a collectivist culture. People care about each other. The one thing that really keeps us the most healthy is healthy socialization, and I found good community here, and I love how people are smiling and always saying hello. And to me, at the end of the day, that matters a little bit more, actually. But when you factor in how hard it is to manage your health over here, you can't drink the drinking water. Everywhere it just boils the drinking water and serves tea for free, but they don't give you free water. And so it's certain things. You know, it's a developing country. The infrastructure is not quite there yet. I would be really curious to see where they get to in 3 to 5 years. You know, they're building roads and improving things here. But we took a train from Ho Chi Minh to Da Nang, like I said, and it wasn't the greatest experience. And it's just, you know, is what it is kind of thing. It's not the worst. You know, you could absolutely do worse. Vietnam has some nice roads and some nice infrastructure in some ways. The internet's pretty good. But to me, it's not like America, you know. And I wasn't expecting that. It wasn't a deal breaker. But when you factor in all the traffic and the noise, it gets overwhelming. All the roads. See, the thing is, if you're not a city person, you can't live in Vietnam. This is my theory. Because you need the convenience of being close to restaurants and cafes and laundry services and all the things that cities provide. That's one of the biggest reasons to move to Vietnam, is because all the services and everything is so affordable. But if you're in a rural area, you don't have any services. So you can't live there. Even so, if you're not a city person, you really can't live in Vietnam. You can try living just a bit outside where you can still, you know, grab food delivery and stuff like this. And for me, that is the best option to do that. But long term, I don't think it's something I would really want to do. I really do like being out in a more of a rural area, a more interesting nature-filled area. As opposed to having to do what I'm doing right now, I'm actually here in the city, in Dalat. And yes, it's so affordable. It's incredibly affordable. My rent this month on Airbnb was $250, no commitment, including everything. And that's unheard of, basically, in the world. And that's why a lot of people are kicking the tires of Vietnam. It's like, oh my God, this place is so affordable and everything, there is some really nice stuff here. It's a high value, but you gotta listen to all these things I'm telling you. Come here and figure it out for yourself, because it's a beautiful country full of beautiful people, and there is no perfect place. Everywhere has problems. So these are the main things that I just can't, it's not for me. But I'm also at the same time want to, make a point that I am also not itching to get out of here. I love Vietnam. It's incredible, and I am so grateful I bought my plane ticket here and came here and had a good time here. And I think you should too. But just be aware of some of the downsides to Vietnam, how hot it is in most of the areas of Vietnam and how humid it is and all these things I've talked about today, the visa situation, everything. Just consider everything and then take a look around at the other countries nearby. In Thailand, you can get a DTV visa for 5 years pretty easily. In the Philippines, they have really beautiful nature, pristine nature. So everywhere has something. And for me, I've decided that I kind of want somewhere with a little bit higher English proficiency. I really do love the English language. I love being a writer and studying it. And I want something a little bit more Western. And I know that sounds so lame. I hate how that sounds. But it's the truth. It's the truth. So if you're interested, keep hanging out and subscribe, and I'll keep telling you more about my journey. Thank you so much.